You ever have one of those days where you know, deep in your bones, if you don't stand up for yourself, nobody will? That was me, sitting in seat 2A on SkyWest Airlines, trying to focus on the most important meeting of my career, when a flight attendant leaned in and dropped the kind of line that would stick with me for a lifetime. "Sir, we need this seat for another passenger." That's it. No apology. Just a cold demand. The entire first-class cabin got quiet, and you could almost hear people thinking, "Oh boy, here we go." What nobody knew was that I'd just wired their company $25 million. My company, Pinnacle Investments, had just signed the deal to keep this airline alive. And now? Now I was the problem they needed to move. Let me back up a sec. Name's Marcus Daniels, and yeah, I've spent my life hustling, south side of Chicago, single mom, public schools, all that. I clawed my way to Harvard, then Wall Street, then started Pinnacle from nothing but grit and caffeine. I don't tell you this to brag. I tell you because people like me, in rooms like this, were still rare. So, when I say that getting asked for my boarding pass, again and again, by Heather, this flight attendant who managed to serve champagne to everyone else but barely made eye contact with me, it wasn't a new feeling. Not by a long shot. But that morning, the stakes were different. We just inked a $120 million deal to save SkyWest from the scrap heap, and I needed every second in that first-class seat to finish my pitch. But that old money cent, Bradley Wellington, VP of Operations, he had other plans. He and his buddy Richard Whitley, one of those men who's never flown anything less than first, decided my seat was theirs to claim. The kicker? Bradley didn't even try to hide it. "That passenger in 2A, make sure you verify his credentials," he whispered to Heather, like I was invisible, like I was a threat. So Heather comes back for my boarding pass. Again, and this time her smile's all teeth, no warmth. "Are you sure this is your seat, Mr. Daniels?" I hand her my phone, show her my ticket, keep my voice steady even as I feel everyone watching. Across the aisle, another businessman gets a free drink and a nod. I get suspicion and a plastic cup of water. That's how it goes. Now, I know the game. Growing up, my mom told me, "They'll try to make you invisible. Don't you ever let them." Every step of my career, I've had to prove myself twice as hard, carry myself twice as careful. Every time someone tried to put me in my place, I doubled down, worked harder, climbed higher. But that morning on Flight 1876, I wasn't a kid with dreams. I was the man holding this company's future in my pocket. So when Bradley's pal Richard finally storms on board, huffing about his usual seat, you better believe I saw what was coming. Heather, looking nervous now, asks if I'll move to economy, just for this priority passenger. I look around and see empty seats in first, but no, it has to be mine. "Some of us actually belong in first class," Richard sneers, and I hear it for what it is. Not about status, not about money, about who they think belongs, about who they think should disappear. You know what I mean? I keep my cool. I ask to speak to the captain. "This is a security matter now," the supervisor tells me, and just like that, two officers appear, hands on tasers, like I'm a threat because I won't leave a seat I paid for. All I can think is, if I push back, if I lose my temper, I'll be the angry black man kicked off a plane, deal lost, headlines everywhere. So I stand up. "I'll relocate under protest," I say, voice steady, heart pounding. I ask for their names, Bradley, Heather, all of them. And as I gather my things, I see passengers reaching for their phones, recording. The humiliation burns. But I know what I have to do. Document everything. Play the long game. They march me to row 34, sandwiched between two strangers who look at me like I'm the one who started trouble. The air's hot, my knees jammed. The water comes in another half-empty cup, and the flight attendant avoids my eyes. When my phone buzzes with a luggage rerouted notification, yeah, everything I needed for my meeting lost. I get it. This isn't random. It's a warning. But then I catch a break. Across the aisle, a woman gives me a nod, solidarity, silent but powerful. And when I check social media, I see the videos already blowing up. Black CEO removed from first class to make room for white passenger. The whole world is watching now. You ever have that feeling, like you're right in the middle of a storm, but suddenly the winds are shifting your way? My executive team starts texting, "Should we cancel the meeting?" I tell them, "Proceed as planned. We'll explain later." Because I'm not just here for my company anymore. I'm here for everyone who's ever been told, you don't belong. When I finally get to Sky West headquarters, I can feel security sizing me up, double-checking my ID like there's no way I'm the Marcus Daniels they're expecting. Can I help you? The receptionist asks, all polite but tight-lipped. Yes, I'm the investor you're blocking at the door. You should have seen their faces when the CEO, Walter Kingston, shows up, panic in his eyes as he realizes the man in the viral video is the same one holding their future in his hands. The boardroom is tense. Bradley tries to brush it all off as a misunderstanding, but the facts are right there. Videos, witness statements, the whole internet watching. I tell them straight. Before the rest of your money clears, I want proof that Sky West takes discrimination seriously. That's the leverage they never saw coming. But this story isn't just about me getting payback. Bradley starts fighting dirty, spinning rumors, planting stories in the press, even hacking into my company's files. He crosses lines, brings in his country club friends, targets my clients, tries to frame me as the bad guy. But every move he makes, my team is ready, documenting, tracing, building a case. And then, an unexpected twist. Heather Stevens, the very flight attendant who kicked me out of first class, reaches out. She's scared, but she brings receipts, recordings of Bradley telling her to create a disturbance if needed, evidence of this happening to other non-white passengers, bribes offered to keep her quiet. We move fast, get her safe, gather whistleblowers. And now we're not just fighting for me, but for a pattern that's been hidden for years. The pressure mounts, threats, sabotage, media attacks, but I don't back down. With Heather's help, and another brave attendant named Lisa, we hand over everything to the feds. Public outrage grows, Sky West stock tanks, and Bradley gets desperate, tries to destroy evidence, bribes, even orchestrates a raid on my office. But we've anticipated every step. When the board finally breaks, Bradley is fired for cause, federal agents seize his devices, and news breaks of offshore accounts and years of illegal discrimination. But the story doesn't end with just his fall. The CEO, Kingston, is exposed too. His own emails outlining how to manage cabin demographics come to light. The whole system is forced to reckon with what they've allowed. 6 weeks after that flight, I'm back at Sky West, not as a customer, but as a partner. Their new board, with real diversity, invites me to help shape policies, set up independent oversight, and drive real change. Heather, once scared to lose her job, is now head of diversity initiatives. The investment goes through, on my terms this time, and I launch a foundation to help others fight for accountability in corporate America. You know, it's wild how a single humiliating moment can become the spark for something bigger than any one person. I started that day just wanting to do my job. I ended it helping crack open a system that's been broken for generations. So here's my question for you. What would you have done in my seat? Have you ever seen or experienced something like this and wondered if you should speak up or just keep your head down? Comment below. Let's talk about it. And if you believe that real change takes people willing to risk their comfort, maybe even their careers, to call out injustice, share your story. Because justice isn't something you wait for. It's something you demand, every day, in every seat you claim.